By the end of this video, you're going to have 7 different settings that you need to turn on ChatGPT, because if you want your answers to be super specific to you so that they actually solve your problems and you want to be able to start to automate tasks in your life, these 7 settings are must use in 2025. Setting number 1 that you need to make sure you change is you need to make sure that you delete ChatGPT's memory occasionally. Here's what you need to do. You need to come up here, you need to come into settings, and then from here, if we come into personalization, you'll see memory right here. And you want to click in here and you want to manage this, because here's the deal. ChatGPT is randomly going to memorize things, and this is going to cause bias over time with ChatGPT. And if you come into yours, you might see stuff like this. Like, for example, I typed in here, I'm going to Scottsdale in February 2025. I like to hike. I love sushi. I enjoy drinking at night. But I actually did this for a YouTube video, and I am not actually doing this. So I need to make sure that I come in here and I forget this. Or if I come down here, this says that I want to retire at 35 years old, which again, I said for a YouTube video. So I want to make sure that I forget that. If we come down here, there's a bunch of things in here. For example, is starting an LLC to buy real estate. That has nothing to do with me. My business has nothing to do with real estate. So I want to make sure that I get rid of this. Essentially, ChatGPT starts to build up this memory like how I own a Porsche 911 and I sold my Porsche. So you want to make sure that you go through and you are occasionally getting rid of this memory. I wouldn't clear the entire thing, but I would scan through here to make sure that you could just get rid of anything that isn't applicable. Like this one right here about trailer brakes for a living. Again, I don't sell trailer brakes for a living. I make YouTube videos for a living and talk about AI. So I need to make sure that I get rid of this. And you need to do the same exact thing with your ChatGPT, because otherwise you have a bunch of different biases that you don't know are actually affecting the responses you get. But that's just the first setting. This next one is something that 99% of people don't even know exists, and this is a huge game changer with ChatGPT because you can actually customize it to give you responses that better fit your life. Now for this, we're just going to back out just one button, and then we're going to click right here where it says custom instructions. Now what you want to add in here are different things. For example, ChatGPT has all these different thought starters in here, like where am I based? What do you do for work? What are your hobbies and interests? What subjects can you talk about for hours? What are some goals that you have? And you want to make sure that you add this in here, because then ChatGPT is going to take that into consideration whenever they give you a response. I mean, think about it. If you were just talking to some random person on the street, which is what ChatGPT is, before you customize it, they can't give you any advice because they don't know what you want. They don't know what your goals are. They don't know where you're from. They don't know what you do for work. And the same thing goes for ChatGPT. In fact, if you're just asking ChatGPT random things right now, it doesn't have this context. How on earth could it possibly give you a good answer? But on top of that, if we come into how would you like ChatGPT to respond, there are other things here. For example, how formal or casual should ChatGPT be? And you could break this down for whether or not you're talking about work or you're talking about your personal life. How long or short should responses generally be? Personally, I like them to be very short, very concise, and take all things into consideration, because otherwise ChatGPT can spit out these super long answers that are really, really difficult for you to go through when you really just wanted the direct answer. Also, how do you want to be addressed? And should ChatGPT have opinions on topics or remain neutral? Again, you need to make sure that you are turning this on. Otherwise, there's going to be a bias based on OpenAI and what they think you should know and you should learn, and you need to take back control by customizing your ChatGPT. On top of that, if you scroll down just a little bit more, you will see here different capabilities. For example, web search, DALL-E, code, Canvas. You need to make sure that all of these are going to be turned on. But those are just the first 2 settings. In fact, there are 5 more, and they're only going to get crazier from here, and they're going to allow you to customize ChatGPT so that you get better responses, you can be more productive, and you can make more money with ChatGPT. But before we dive into that, I need you to smash that subscribe button if you want to get better with ChatGPT or learn more about AI tools, because I literally upload a video 3 times a week to help you get better with AI so you can be more productive, make more money, and ultimately improve your life. Now, the third setting that you need to make sure you're turning on with ChatGPT, actually ask ChatGPT to give you this. So what we're going to do right here is we're going to come into the responses that I got right here when I told ChatGPT that I'm making a video that highlights 7 things to do with ChatGPT to get a better response. So these are the 7 things that it said. 1, set the tone of voice. For example, respond in a professional way, a casual way, or the funny way. This is going to help tailor the response to the style to meet your specific needs when you ask it something. Secondly, you need to define the role. For example, act as a financial advisor or pretend to be a historian. Again, this helps because role-playing helps narrow down ChatGPT's focus to a specific expertise instead of being a generalist. The third thing is set the response length. Do you want a short summary or do you want a 500-word detailed explanation? This is incredibly helpful, especially if you're doing something like asking ChatGPT to write you an email or write you a script or write you some content or something along the lines of that. In addition, you want to make sure that you specify formatting. I cannot emphasize how important this is right here. Replying in bullet points, giving a numbered list, formats like a script. This is going to make your life 100 times easier because it allows ChatGPT to actually think a little bit differently and give you different responses. And next up, we have requesting step-by-step explanations. Now, the reason that you want to do this is if you're doing something that's very complex or you want to teach something to somebody else, like what I'm doing right here, you want to do this because it's going to make ChatGPT's response way easier for you to actually understand and for you to be able to digest. Next, set a cutoff or time context. For example, I want you to only take into consideration 2023, or I want you to only take into consideration information after a specific date. And then finally, you need to make sure that you are adjusting creativity levels. For example, be more creative, stick to factual answers only. And again, this is going to help give ChatGPT more liberty when it gives you a response with how creative it should be, or if it's just going to be sticking to the facts. This next thing that you need to make sure that you're doing is going to completely change how you're using ChatGPT. In fact, this setting just came out and it's an absolute game changer, especially if you use ChatGPT for multiple different things, like maybe you use it for work, you use it for play, and you use it for your finances. What I'm talking about are going to be ChatGPT projects. For example, obviously, I'm a YouTuber. You're watching my YouTube video, so I have different products set up for YouTube titles or for YouTube scripts. And you can do the same exact thing under here. So essentially what you do, you come in, you create a new project. For example, fixing my finances. And then what we'll do create project right here. Now in this project, we can add specific things. For example, we can add specific instructions, like we could say something along the lines, if I want to retire by the time that I'm 35 years old, here's how much money I make, taking into consideration that I am not very risk on, and you can save this in here. That'll give this then specific instructions. And then what you can also do is add in different files. For example, if I wanted this to go through and audit my finances, maybe I would download all of my credit card statements, all of my bank statements, and all of my debit card statements and upload it in here. So now this has context into it and I can ask it something along the lines of how can I save money? What bills am I wasting a lot of money on? Here's an example of this. So I just went through and actually set this up. So I'm telling ChatGPT, I want you to act as my financial advisor that's going to help me audit my bills and help me save money. I'm under extreme financial pressure to lower my bills and I need your help. So I'm going to click save here. And then also I actually went through and added 4 different credit card statements. So I'm going to now ask ChatGPT, how can I save money if you look at my American Express statements that I gave you? There were 4 of them. Be very critical and be very specific. So now I'm going to do that. And what this is going to do is this is now going to prompt ChatGPT based on exactly what I gave it. For example, it says that I am frequently dining at premium restaurants. For example, Sunset Sushi, Surf Club, Prime Fish, and then it actually references these things and it tells me to stop doing that. In addition, it says that I've had multiple Starbucks charges over $25 per visit, which again is something that I could cut back on. And it tells me to start brewing coffee at home. It also says something about frequent Uber rides, memberships and subscriptions, luxury spending such as diamonds or Airbnb stays, and it says a bunch of other things that I should cut back on. And it literally comes over here and tells me a bunch of different things. For example, retail and miscellaneous spending, limit non-essential shopping. This is where I get my hair cut. So it actually goes through and says all of these different things, and it can make me a plan for how I can cut back. But again, you could feed this all of your emails. You could feed this all of your client documents. You could feed this a ton of different things to help improve your life. Now, there are still 3 other settings, and these are only going to get crazier and crazier, and the last one is by far the most important. If you want ChatGPT to give you the best responses possible, you need to make sure you're paying attention to these next 3 things. Next thing is that you need to come over here and you need to come into Explore GPTs. If you don't know what these are basically different apps that are going to help you do better things. For example, if you wanted to look at some real estate documents, if you type in lawyer, this will then give you a bunch of different GPTs that you can now use that are going to be specific, like this one, which is going to be law and contract. Now, obviously, it says not a real lawyer for disclosure purposes, but there are a bunch of different things here, and basically, this right here has learned off of 700 different chats. And if we click into this, we're going to be able to do this, and they're going to have different conversation starters, different capabilities, and you can see the different ratings here. Or we can type in something like financial advisor. And again, we're going to get the same thing. But let's say we don't need an attorney and we don't need a financial advisor. We just want somebody to help us with YouTube scripts. If we type in YouTube scripts, again, guess where we're going to find a bunch of these. Now, as a general rule of thumb, if you're using GPTs, you want to make sure that it's built specifically for exactly what you're talking about. And you want to use the ones that have the most conversations, because the ones that have the most conversations have learned the most and are going to give you the best responses. The next thing you need to make sure that you're doing is what's going to happen if I come over to Google right now. If I come over to Google and I ask something like, when was Martin Luther King born? What is this going to do? It's going to automatically open up ChatGPT and it's going to respond to me in ChatGPT, and it's going to give me different sources and different articles. What does this do? It just made the search process 1,000 times better. Now, how did I do this? What I did was click on here and I clicked Get ChatGPT Search Extension. I clicked on this. I went through the process of actually downloading this. And now, every single time I do a search for something, it's going to pull up ChatGPT and it's going to give me a very good response. For example, what's the weather in Phoenix? If we type this in, guess what this does? It pulls up the weather in Phoenix, tells me the weather for a bunch of other days. And again, this is just a way better way of actually doing search. I would strongly suggest that you change this. Now, if you don't like this, all you could do is just type in Google and then do a search for Google, like what's the weather in Phoenix, and then what this is going to do is it's going to go through and just change your responses to be Google. But personally, I like using ChatGPT better because now I can follow up and say something along the lines of, when is the next rainy day? And I can actually have a conversation with ChatGPT as opposed to just going back and forth searching for something on Google and then having to click into all these different links, because that's kind of a waste of time when I can just get the answer I need and have a conversation with it. Which brings me to the last and most important thing that you need to make sure that you're doing with ChatGPT, and that is that you need to be choosing the right model. I cannot emphasize this enough. Most people don't even realize that you can choose different models on ChatGPT and that it actually has a drastic difference in how ChatGPT responds to you. Let me show you. Here's what I'm actually referring to here. What I'm referring to is if we come up here, you're going to see a bunch of different models. Now, I'm currently in a chat, so I'm not able to change this, but if I come over here, you're going to see that we have GPT 4.0. We have O1. We have O1 Mini. We have O1 Pro Mode. And we also have 4.0 Mini and then ChatGPT 4. Now, I would strongly suggest that just for very basic tasks, I would use ChatGPT 4.0 because it responds pretty quickly and it's very good. But if you're doing something a little bit more advanced, so let's say you're feeding it a lot more data, you're asking it a lot more of a complex question, I would strongly suggest that you use O1 because this is going to give you way better responses. Now, there are a few drawbacks here. You can still upload different files. And also, I'd strongly suggest that you connect your Google Drive, ChatGPT to make it really easy for you to be able to upload things. You could also come under here and see use O1 Reason. Or if we click here, we actually can't use search anymore. But if we come back to 4.0, you're going to see that if we click on this, we can have it create pictures, we can have it search the web, we can have it use O1, or we can use Canva for collaborating on writing or code. In addition to that, if we click on this, we can click to just search the web. All of those different settings are going to have a massive impact on how well ChatGPT responds to your questions. But I don't want you to only be using ChatGPT, because if you're only focused on using ChatGPT when you're focused on AI, you're going to miss out on so many other tools, which is exactly why I created this video right here that shows you 7 free AI tools that can help you make money online, be more productive, and ultimately just improve your life. I'll see you over there.